I'd like to mention the word sound and the word light. This seems to be very important words about a description of what life really is. It doesn't seem like it's a physical thing, like this sound light reality of life, of what Dwayne calls the is. Val, would you have any description of the sound and light?
Well, again, they relate to the worlds of creation. Basically, creation is sound and light. So I'm not certain how I heard this once from Dwayne, but he said that the isness is not sound and light. I mean, we heard that before in Ekankar. I've got to ask him this again. It's kind of interesting, but there's just an isness again. In words like sound and light, I mean, they're just words that represent something. Sound represents a vibration. Light represents, knowledge or maybe awareness. So, but these ideas of sound and light, they don't exist in the real universes. I mean, the reality of it is what it is, and you really can't describe it with concepts like sound and light. So I would say it's more in the, as it comes down, as it filters down to the lower creation worlds, sound becomes very, very clean, very pure, like the music of Wagner. He was in the real universes, or he could access it. So he brought that down into a form called music, vibrations and sound. And then there's light too. There's the pure light, which is people, in the personal self can't really handle. It's so much. It'll blind you. It'll burn you up. And as it comes down into lower worlds, into astral light, that's what people see a lot in their dreams. The astral light is it's filtered down, it's toned down. But all matter, you could say, is just a vibration or sound. And light, again, is like, I'd say like awareness or like knowledge, knowingness, things like that. If you break it down, sound and light, they're the elements of creation. So it's an interesting subject for sure, because all Tesla and some of these geniuses, they really could work with sound and light and use it to develop the technologies that made sense and were clean and could benefit mankind, so they were able to harness them in their pure form, or as we, the people, the controllers, are just very, very, they misuse the energies and knowledge, and they get it in a form where it's actually not a benefit for humans anymore, and a control factor.
Yeah. Thanks again, Val, for discussing the sound and light, because it sounds like we're all free beings of real light. So these words are just, like you're saying, trying to describe something so we can become aware of things that we're unaware of. It's like we're searching in the dark unless somebody gives us light, the guidance, the real guides, like Rebas Artars and Paul Twitchell and Phoebe Kwans and Yabal Sakabi and Shamasi Tabriz and Gopal Das and Kata Daki and Lysi and Tawart Manaji and Rami Nuri, and there's many others that have already gone through the processes that we're experiencing too. It's like we're all children. So this experience is being offered to test the new you song in sessions and get a hold of the new books. And there's Skype group discussions, and there's these blog talk radio shows. And there's all kinds of beautiful picture stuff by Ava and Dwayne that's practically every day put on Facebook and Skype and about this new presentation and the wonderful worldwide educators and all the projects that are in the process of becoming physical in our lives here on Earth, to be able to get everybody's attention about what's taking place on Earth and trying to help our Mother Earth from being poisoned and polluted, and so that people can learn how to be self-sufficient and get back to being not so affected by the brutalitarians, the authoritarians that create these wars on Earth and poison gases from their fuel they sell to everybody, and how they're affecting our water and our air. It's just the opportunity. That's why we're trying to share for anybody that's listening, to find out for themselves by testing them, the new use sessions to start with. So I don't know if there's anybody that's out there that wants to ask any questions, or if there's anything else that anybody would like to say today.
Well, about the real guides, their awareness is so far along that they can be here with us without being seen, you could say, but they're with us because everything is now, here and now. So they've learned how to be aware of this nowness, and then in a way the physical creation worlds aren't affected by these worlds, so they can move around, without us seeing them. I mean, a lot of us do see them in our real side experiences and work with them, and even in the physical, people see them sometimes, but they can move around, and this is hard for the literal mind to get, but their awareness is such that that's how they can be with everybody at the same time, in a way, or be different places in the same time, because there is no different places. I mean, everything is here and now. So again, it's hard to articulate, but they're able to. They have such great awareness that their view encompasses everything. They can overview things, and they can move around in creation with freedom and really good mobility and do things here as well as be in the real universes. So and then the other thing is that yes, the window here of opportunity. It's like in Eckankar we used to say the wave, and now it is the new wave, replaces the rod of power, but the new wave is, you catch it, It's like going out in the ocean, and then wave comes along, you try to catch it at the right time and ride it. So this is a time now to catch this wave, because there'll be other waves that you don't know when. You don't know, if you'll be even aware of the waves coming through. So now is the time. Really, there's no other time but now. There's no guarantee that you'll see it in the future, another wave coming through. So get on this wave, ride it, the best you can, because life just moves on. It's like the wave in the ocean, just moves on, and if you miss it, you miss it. You have to wait for the next one. So that's where we are now with what we're presenting.
Yeah, thanks again, Val. For everybody that wants to find out why we came here. And I think I'd like to read something that Dwayne wrote in one of his books. And it was about this thing that was called the Rod of Power that Paul Twitchell presented. Anyway, Paul and Rebazar told me, that means Dwayne, about the Rod of Power and the first being to have it, as he created the world dream. It's just amazing that all we can do until we're like the real guides is imagine what it must be like, because we don't know until we become aware of what it's like to be like them, with the freedom that they have and the purity and the sincerity and the humility and the honor and all these wonderful I don't know whether you call them traits or just actually what we really are, gratitude, to be thankful to be, and especially for the opportunity to not have to come back to hell anymore, or hell-like conditions many times, because you never know. One day we're fine and we're sitting around and everything's what we call normal, and the next day you're in an automobile accident or something takes place, any accident could take place, and all of a sudden your whole world has changed, or you could end your physical life at any time. It's like it's not really in our hands whether the sun blows up or whether the earth flips over mountains on us, or anything can happen. And you see it a lot going on at times, how powerful experiences people have to go through, so dramatic, and it's just a person, if it's to the point where he doesn't want to keep on doing the same thing and over and over, but they have the right to. It sounds like you can just keep on thinking that this is all there is to life, what you know, and there's nothing more that you don't know about life. Then I guess it isn't time for you to test and see if there is something more. If people think they know it all, well, they can think that. So the idea of the dream arena is to first study it on every level, then take an active part. Dwayne wrote that in one of his books too. So I guess that this is all one step at a time stuff. So if a person's interested to check out the new presentation, the wonderful worldwideeducators.com, or probably see things on Facebook if you look it up, or Skype. Anyway, unless there's something else you'd like to mention today, Val, I guess we could end our radio show unless anybody else wants to say something.
Just us, Tim. So no, I'm good. Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for making it happen, hooking up this technology so we can present some information today to somebody out there that the real guides might be showing this to or letting them hear. So I guess we could end the show with singing New You, You, You. Do you want to go ahead and go first?
Sure. You, 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 you. New you, you, you.
Thanks again, Val. We'll see ya.
Okay, thanks, Tim.